I'm Roger Sack. Um, I'm a disabled veteran. Served in the Army. Worked with the Paralyzed Veterans of America, West Virginia chapter as a sports director. Worked with various sporting programs for people with disabilities, as well as work with the youth worship team in the local church. We had a flood in 2011, and during the course of things, our home had an immense amount of water, right close to a foot deep in the basement of a new home. Much to our surprise, we realized that a lot of things needed to be thrown out. Mold was growing and needed help in our cleaning process.
So in 2011, I received a phone call from a local insurance agent, and he related to me that he had a client who had outside water damage, which typically isn't covered by insurance companies unless they have a special rider. He went on to tell me that this client was a wounded veteran, and that a couple of other restoration companies had been there, and they had given estimates anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000. Roger, unfortunately, was in the hospital at that time because he had contracted a respiratory infection because he was trying to deal with this water loss himself. So the next day, or it may have been 2 days later, Roger was out of the hospital. I had the opportunity to meet Roger Stack, and he comes up and he's just, bigger than life. Although he was going through this terrible situation, he just got out of the hospital, his house was underwater. He was still in a great mood, and he's just saying, hey, what can we do to fix this? And so upon talking to some of my guys and my project managers, it was really the question, how could we not do this for this individual? After meeting Roger, he is obviously very involved with the Wounded Veterans Association, very involved with his church and the community, really gives a lot of himself and really everything he's got to the community. And so we felt that it was just very appropriate for us to do that for Roger in his time in need. We got together a group of guys with the Crossroads Property Rescue, and they just knocked it out, and they were so happy to do it. We really benefited more from it than Roger did, I think. Really gave my guys a sense of accomplishment, giving to the community and giving to somebody who gave it all, obviously, for his country. So once we finished the job, we completed it, we visited Roger again and made sure everything was fine, and we cleaned his ductwork. We made sure everything was sanitary, both upstairs and downstairs. And then it happened again, probably about 6 months later. And obviously, it was no big deal. We went in, we did it again for Roger, and it really formed a great relationship between Roger and myself. He's been a great friend to me personally. If I'm ever down, I can always just give Roger a call, and he seems to pick me up immediately. I mean, this is just a unique individual that I'm glad came into my life, and we're glad to be able to help people like this in the community who, sometimes needs a hand. And as a company, we're glad to give that hand, especially to guys like Roger and his family.
Mr. Woods was definitely a gift from God who came at the right time, provided services that we desperately needed, and he and his crew did a phenomenal job. Couldn't have asked for anything better. I got answers to questions of, the number of mold counts in the home, as to how to try to control, water and prevention of mold growth in the home. But they did such a great job. There was no complaining. It was it was a service company that gave their all for the job and for their customer.